So if you want to see the delusional Manchester United fan that is going to celebrate the fact that we've just won a pre-season summer series tournament, unfortunately you're not going to get that guy today. If you want to see that guy, go check out my reaction to the Bournemouth game the other day where I really laid down the marker to Arsenal saying that they've got no chance of beating this unless they completely shape up. But in that same vein, I do still stand by those comments because I genuinely believe if we play the way we played against Bournemouth, we will beat Arsenal in 2 weeks' time. However, if we play the way we played today, I don't see any world where we beat Arsenal. And to be honest, I'm actually glad in a way that we've seen the sort of performance that we've seen today. And obviously, on the other hand, I'm incredibly disappointed in what I've seen today. But I'm kind of glad because it is the reality check that we needed after a very good performance against West Ham and a very good performance against Bournemouth, because it once again proves my biggest fear about this side, which is that they continue to be inconsistent. And there are a lot of people on that football pitch today who should be coming off it incredibly disappointed in how they performed today. I'm looking at Ugarte, I'm looking at Bruno, I'm looking at a couple of players in the back line, I'm looking at Ruben Amorim as well for some of his team selections across today's game and some of his substitution decisions across today's game, because again, this was a performance very, very reminiscent of what we saw week in, week out from Ruben Amorim's sides over the course of the second half of last season. We've seen it again here today. And when you actually take this whole pre-season collectively so far, we've played 4 matches. It's easy to forget about the Leeds game, but I started my reactions to this pre-season saying that nothing had changed. We drew 0-0 with Leeds, we looked poor, we looked sluggish, we looked like we had no creativity, and we drew 0-0. That all changed against West Ham, where we played brilliantly and scored 2 goals and won the game. It then got heightened even greater by putting in an unbelievable performance with the same team that lost the Europa League final, beating Bournemouth 4-1. And then today, we played Everton, and we were crap. So, over the balance of the 4 matches, we've had 2 really good games and 2 really bad games. So, where does that leave us in the pursuit of our ambitions for this season? Well, it leaves us a little bit better than where we were last season, but not a lot. So, it is good in a way that we've seen what's happened today because it is the reality check that some Manchester United fans needed in regards to the fact that we are still going to struggle in football matches this season. And like I say, I can pick out individuals like I already have, but I do think we need to look at the team collectively in terms of how that they've approached this game. I said during the Bournemouth game, we needed to suffer some adversity because my big worry was, how would this team react if Arsenal go 1-0 up in 2 weeks' time? We now know how they're going to react. They're going to panic. They're going to struggle. They're going to start whinging. They're going to start moaning. They're going to start throwing themselves to the floor. They're going to start playing erratically. They're going to start going out of position. They're going to start giving the ball away more. And they're going to be incredibly wasteful. And inevitably, they're going to end up suffering. Today, it was only a draw. It could have very easily been a loss. It could have also very easily been a win. But it could have very easily been a loss. And instead, it's a draw, which on the balance of the entire game sounds about right. But let's not forget, Everton lost to West Ham and Everton lost to Bournemouth. And we beat both of them. So there's no excuse for not beating Everton today. They've simply not turned up to the level that you'd expect. And it's because they suffered some adversities. So I'm going to start with Ruben Amorim because I really didn't like his team selection today. Ahmad playing right wing back. Dalot playing left wing back. Cunha and Burmo and Bruno all playing together as a front 3. No big centre forward. Coming up against an Everton team which you know are going to be big, physical, aggressive, play the long ball, and look to win the second balls. We didn't set up a team today to play against an Everton side that would play like that, which is a little bit worrying from Ruben Amorim's perspective. Because if it's me, I'm playing Casemiro today. I know he played really bad against Bournemouth, but again, you know Everton are going to be physical, so you need Casemiro in there. I'd have played Højlund because you know Everton's defence is going to be physical. So it just didn't work. And why he didn't play Dorgu, I guess it's because Dorgu played so well in the first 2 games. He wanted to try someone else out there. But playing a right footer at playing a right footer at left wing back and a left footer at right wing back just channeled everything inward And Everton had more bodies in the midfield. So it just didn't work. And then Bruno would drop in and Burmo would drop in. Cunha would drop in. There'd be no centre forward. Don't get me wrong. When it worked, and it worked on a few occasions today, oh my God, we looked good. Some of the actual link-up play from Ahmad to Burmo to Cunha to Bruno to Mainu, they were knocking it around, having some great stuff. But it was in moments. It wasn't consistent and it wasn't fluid throughout. And that's a real problem. Because when we come up against the bigger teams and the better teams, we're inconsistent, we'll lose. You have to be on it at all times. And that's when I now start coming back to individuals and I take a big look at Ugarte today. Because I said in my stay or go video that I would have got rid of Ugarte because I don't think he's good enough. And I stand by it now. I don't think Manuel Ugarte is good enough. I think he's a decent player. I think he is Fred 2.0. I think he's decent at winning the ball back. I think he runs. I think he's relentless. And he harries. But when he gets the ball at his feet, it's not good enough. And you look at the goal that we concede today, it comes from Ugarte. And that's not a surprise for me from what I saw of him in the previous 30 minutes prior to us conceding that goal. He gave it away more than anyone else. He was loose. He wasn't picking up the right positions. Mainu was doing everything he could. Mainu was getting around the pitch. But Ugarte was giving the ball away. And when you've got players like Burmo, Bruno and Cunha up front, if your midfield can't get the ball to them, there's no point in them being on the pitch. So Ugarte is a real worry for me right now. And you think about the Arsenal game. He's going to have Declan Rice all over him if he's playing. He's not going to win that fight. So that's a real worry for me. And then what happens is, like I say, the petulance starts. We concede that goal, heads go. And this is the big worry about this team. The mentality still isn't right. We're playing better football for the vast majority of the time. We are fitter. We're running harder. The press looks better. So the actual overall play is still better. But when that adversity comes, mentally they're still not there yet. And that is the real worry I've got going into the start of this season. We are playing all of the big four, I would say, this season. Man City, Liverpool, Arsenal and Chelsea. We're playing all four of them in the first 6 matches. If they're not mentally switched on for all 90 minutes of all 4 of those matches, we lose all 4 of those matches. And that's not because we won't play well. It's because if anything bad happens to them in any of those matches, I still don't think this team, this unit, has what it takes to get through those moments. And we saw it today. And it almost happened. Don't get me wrong, it almost happened. A moment of brilliance. A wonderful goal from Mason Mount. I can't speak highly enough of the goal that we scored there. The move all round. Again, knocking it about. Creating space. Looking for angles. Dorgu, Bruno, Mount. Fluid. Good football. Cut inside. Whips it in. 2-1 Manchester United. Fantastic. But they still weren't switched on. Because they were still reeling about all the things that had already gone against them in that second half. And at the end of the first half when they conceded. And lo and behold, just a couple of minutes later, Bruno's skinned by Njai. He tries to kick out at him. They end up scrapping. The whole thing goes out the window. No one knows where they're supposed to be defending. No one knows who they're supposed to be marking. Ahmad boots it off heaven. It goes in for an own goal. Okay, that's not going to happen every game. But the situation could happen. And this is where we've now got a serious problem. Because that all stems from Bruno again. Bruno is the captain. He's supposed to be the leader. He's supposed to be the example setter. He shouldn't be picking fights in midfield and leaving the rest of the team exposed to a counter-attack. That's not good leadership. I've spoken to death about Bruno's leadership skills. For me, he's not a captain. He's a wonderful player. He is our best player, but he's not a leader. And he's let us down again today. Again, it's pre-season friendly, so you can't get your knickers in a twist about it. But at the same time, it's a worrying sign. Because what's to say Declan Rice doesn't run past him and he hacks him down and gets into a scrap with him. Or Odegaard flicks it through his legs and he brings him down because he don't like that he got nutmegged. It can happen. And the problem we've now got is we've got 3 incredibly good players to play 2 positions. Because I don't think we can play Cunha or Mbeumo as the centre forward. And that was proven today. Like, I've sat here again speaking about Højlund not getting enough service or Xerxes not getting enough service in the centre forward position. Today, Cunha wasn't getting that service. And he's an incredibly talented player. But he couldn't get the ball for the vast majority of the game because our link-up play doesn't get the ball to the striker yet. So Cunha can't play up front. You've got to play a big player up there to bring Cunha and bring Mbeumo into play. But now you've got the problem of, well, you've got to play Cunha and you've got to play Mbeumo. So now Bruno's got to play in midfield. But Bruno really struggles in midfield. So something's got to give. And unfortunately, I don't really know what that is. You've either got to bench Cunha or Mbeumo, or you've got to play one of them up front, and they're not going to get the ball anywhere near as much as they should. So we've really created a big problem for ourselves here. And right now, I don't know. But yeah, we shall see. Ultimately, we draw the game 2-2. We got the penalty. We scored the penalty. We scored a really good goal from Mount. The 2 goals we conceded, a horrendous mistake from Ugarte, and just Bruno losing his head, defence all over the place, and it's a scrappy own goal. We could have won the game. We could have lost the game. Draw was about a fair result. But I don't know, man. Going into the Arsenal game now, obviously we've got the Fiorentina game left to go. We'll see. I stand by what I said after Bournemouth. We play like that, we can beat Arsenal. But I also stand by what I've said here. We play like this, we've got no chance against Arsenal. So, as always, let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. It's not all negative. We are the Premier League Summer Series champions. We've gone unbeaten. 7 points from 3 games. We've beaten teams that we struggled to beat last season. I think we drew 2-2 with Everton last season. We obviously lost to Bournemouth. We didn't play particularly well against West Ham either. So we've had a good pre-season tour, but the cracks are still there. The inconsistencies are still there. And I really think Amorim's made a big problem for himself with having these 3 talented players that I don't think will work together as a front 3. Ugarte's too inconsistent and Bruno can't play in midfield. So real formation issues for Ruben Amorim to juggle with just 2 weeks to go. We'll see how we do against Fiorentina. We'll see how we do against Arsenal in 2 weeks' time. As always, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you very soon.